Hey,
welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. Oh, damn it! You gotta be on your game, boy.
Wait, where the fuck
It's on the first page.
We said A+, bro. This is
everything
shit.
is.
I am Christian, the unbiased king. Espinal. And joining me in person, it is the man, the myth, legend. It is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called partner, but it should be called gangsta time.
I had to do something.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
What's good, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to our lovely voices. We got a really interesting week in manga.
Oh, yeah. And
cover.
also joining us on the ones and twos, on the P's and Q's, it is Edgelord Big News Brian. No! I told you. Well, you're going to have to forgive him. He's just getting used to the soundboard after being tragically apart from it for months.
I was looking at everything. It's like, oh, everything's in alphabetical order, but Unbiased King is like all the way up in the A's. I'm like, wait, it's not by the U's? What's going on here?
You got to be ready for these curveballs, Brian. You got to be ready for these curveballs. You're on watch for the rest of the episode, son.
Watch these nuts.
That was 2 times.
That was pretty good. All right. Well, we are on our 150th episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us for that one.
$1.50.
$1.50. Very
I don't really
excited.
have to fucking care. Who's
There we go.
everybody?
All right.
Yeah, very excited for this episode. We have an all manga episode this week. So, let's not waste any time. Let's just fucking get into plugs really fast, shall we? You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter, Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. And that's on Instagram. And then at NY Chillin' with an EN at the end, not an ING. And that's on Twitter, guys. Hit me up.
Brian?
You can find me on b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Ooh, yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or you can comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full episode or the little highlight breakouts we make for you guys. Let us know your thoughts on this week's chapters. Subscribe to us. I always forget to tell you guys to do that, but do that. Very appreciative. Please do that. Like, share. Let's get this community rolling. And I think that's it. Without further ado, let's get the show started. Brian, hit the thing.
I don't know what time it is. The phone's ringing. It's your boy, Ichiro Oda.
Ishiro?
One Piece.
Ooh, yeah. This is One Piece chapter 1036. Bushido is the way of death.
Alternate title. You think I'm Joy Boy? On the spot.
Yeah, not bad. Honestly. Last we left off, Zoro was just finishing his battle with King, and it looks like it is done. We opened this chapter with King getting slashed. His sword's broken, and his wings off. Like, he cut his wings off.
He's fucking done.
He's finito.
He's donezo. Oh, I didn't even realize his sword was broken. Yeah, he's really gone.
Yeah, he's completely utterly finished.
This is just some really murderous shit.
Yeah, basically. It is funny, though. We get this little flashback of Kaido talking to King back in their youth. And Kaido lets out some interesting knowledge. He's like, you think I'm Joy Boy? And he's basically, you think the world I'm creating is really the one you wish for? Row, 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 row. And King's like,
King is sitting there like, yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what I believe. No, that's not what he says.
Yeah. He basically vows to never lose a fight as long as he's fighting for Kaido, and he's gonna make him king of the pirates. And that's it. Oh.
About that.
Yeesh. Well, that happens, and then Zoro remembers his promise. He made the same promise to Luffy back in the day, saying that he'll never lose again. And I guess only one of them were able to keep their promise.
Can we fact check that? Has he lost since that point to
Yes.
Mihawk?
No.
the Kuma lost fight.
No, his promise was that he'll never lose a fight again from that point onward.
No matter the circumstances.
No matter
he
the
didn't
circumstances.
specify.
I mean, what counts as losing a fight?
He lost to
really?
Kuma.
Has he lost to a swordsman?
He didn't specify that, though.
He hasn't lost to a swordsman.
But to be
though.
fair, he has not lost to a swordsman yet. He lost to Hody Jones.
Hody isn't a swordsman though.
That doesn't- he
lame
didn't say-
That doesn't
fishman.
count.
though.
That doesn't count. He's not a swordsman.
He said that I will never lose again, not I will never lose to a swordsman
no,
again.
you didn't. You missed the part where in parentheses it said
To a
sword
swordsman.
to a sword boy.
To a swordsman. No, yeah, in the middle of it, he just, of that dramatic speech, I will never lose again to a swordsman.
To a swordsman.
What was that?
To a swordsman.
Never again.
To a
To
swordsman.
a swordsman.
So, yeah, I mean, the game's over. Zoro loads up his hockey swords again, declaring that he's going to become he might as well become the king of hell. Dope. Pretty cool Zoro moment. And then he boosts himself up with, like, he does a double jump with his swords.
Fun fact: Enma is also known. Like the name means
King of
Hell.
Yeah.
So he's basically just embracing the sword completely.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy. So wait. So the swords? No, there was only one sword that was draining health from him, right?
Yeah,
Not
Enma.
all of it. Okay. Because I was like, damn, if all three of them shits turned into like soul sucking swords, and the one in his mouth, it's like, damn, bro.
yeah.
That's intense.
I mean, he's lucky that it's only the one. But you see this little panel where he like streamlines back onto the thing, while one of the I guess surveillance drones that Kaido has around the Palace of Onigashima just watches this happen, and the lady announces to one of the CP0 agents that King has been defeated, and the CP0 agent is like, "Whoa, really?" And yeah, he basically lays down where we're at in terms of the battle. All the Tobiropo and all the lead performers are down, but Big Mom's still here. We still got the floating island that's about to crash into Wano, but they don't know about Momonosuke because he's like, if Luffy defeats Kaido, then the island will just crash by default.
And there's also the blotch of fiery anger going down to blow up
that
the
thing.
island.
Yeah, Kanjuro's petty fire, man.
It has
Petty
a name.
fire booger.
It has a name, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it's called
Unrelenting
Ichiro's
Rage.
Cage. Oh,
It's like unrelenting like rage or something like that. Some shit like that.
Yeah, no, something petty like that.
Ichiro's race.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, it's just a phenomenon that happens, towards like in his arcs when it's
Oh, yeah, the race against time.
The
Yeah.
timer.
The inevitable bomb, the bird cage, the blah blah blah.
yes.
Whatever it is. The cannon from Alabasta, who cares? And we cut to said problem as Momonosuke and Fuga are running together.
Momonosuke?
Momonosuke. Derp.
Yamato.
Sorry. First derp of the new year, everyone. I am very sorry. Fuga and Yamato are running towards the bomb place, and Yamato orders Fuga to just straight up tackle his friend.
These niggas talk like Pokemon. Did we address this? We addressed
we
how
did- I don't
funny
think we
their
did.
sounds are, but I don't think I said that.
No.
Yo, that's just... All right.
Fuga!
You know how I heard? All right. He made a weird sound when he got hit. Rokya.
Yeah.
I've never heard... All right? I don't have to explain it.
No.
So, I was like, let me see if they announce his name, because this is Oda we're talking about, right? And every character gets a spotlight.
Yes. Every character gets deep development, even this number probably.
Right. So he has a backstory for sure, and it's going to be fleshed out later in the series. Anyway, his name is Rocky, and I knew it. Look at the sound he made.
Rockya.
And his name is Rocky.
Rocky. Yeah. They talk like Pokemon.
Yes.
So he barrels down this door using his friend's body, and Yamato runs through it and commands Fuga to stay behind and keep Rocky down for him. Meanwhile, Usopp is just desperately fighting off the hordes of Yamato's men. Kaido. My brain is scrambled today.
They're related.
At least
It's
they're
okay.
related. Yeah, I was going to say that. Too. Close enough.
Okay, so yeah, Kaido's men are swarming Usopp, who has just gotten to where Kinemon and Kiku are. And both of them are just begging Usopp to take the other away.
Oh, man.
And, Usopp is just like, what? What are you talking about? Why are you like even concerned with this raid at a time like this? And he goes, I cling to life with snot running down my nose if I have to. I don't care if it looks pathetic. I survive. It's what I do.
He said, I'm a bitch and I'm proud.
Basically.
Put some respect on it. And you know, I think Kinemon and Kiku was thinking about it. I think they were considering that lifestyle.
They look a little heartbroken. They're just like, Sir Usopp.
No pride?
What?
Zero Japanese pride?
Then again,
None at all?
Then
No
again,
way.
Usopp is also a pirate, so he doesn't really have like a moral he's
no.
not supposed to be the pinnacle of moral compasses, you know?
Yeah.
This is pretty par for the course.
Yeah.
That's what you were
But this
saying,
is a
yeah.
good moment for Usopp. This
No,
is
it
some
really
sick
was.
shit. Like, shows that being a coward isn't without its merits, you know? Like valuing life over anything isn't a bad thing. You know? Like fighting to live is different from fighting to die.
What about when you're only fighting for your own life and you
But
leave others to die?
No, Usopp,
Were you gonna
Usopp
help?
doesn't do that though. Usopp has never like really abandoned people. He's fighting.
Well-
his thing is he's fighting to live while the samurais are fighting to die. That's the difference that
Right.
he's trying to make.
Well, it is interesting that like although Usopp is saying all this shit, he has not moved from his spot defending these samurai. So
True that.
it is an interesting thing about Usopp. I guess I'll get into my thoughts on Usopp later. But at the moment, Usopp won't have to worry about running away because Izo pulls up.
Hard body
Yo.
Izo.
Yeah.
That bitch from Tokyo.
That was nice. I like
Yes. He's learning. He's getting stronger.
that. Big boss man Izo.
Yeah, he pulls up.
Dude, Izo's such a fucking boss.
The
bro.
only samurai who wields 2 pistols.
Remember
hope he
when I
turns
was
his
like
sword
blam
into
blam
some
blam
good
earlier? That was my
Yeah.
Izo impression.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, good impression. Now that I see it, I see it.
Pow, pow, pow.
But yeah.
So, yeah, he's like, Usopp goes, oh my god, who's that? Thanks, though.
He knows me.
Yeah.
He
So-
literally called him God Usopp.
yeah.
That's some fucking fire shit right
I
there.
know, that was so lit.
Yeah. So Izo, like, rips off his fucking cloak to reveal his gang symbol in the back.
Do you remember that video with the dude with the GD? I'm not throwing up the rakes, but he had the GD. He threw the rakes up. Had the rake in braids in the back of it. Man, we're gonna post a link to that shit or something.
Oh, yeah.
Look up GD man. I'm pretty sure it'll pop up, guys.
Dude, it was immediate. He wanted them to know. He just pulled off his thing and just started shooting them. And he looks over to Usopp. He says, "Focus on your survival. If you believe in Straw Hat Luffy, that is." And he commands Usopp to go and take them to safety. And Usopp does it. Yay, Usopp. Meanwhile,
God Usopp.
Usopp. Sorry, I
You
forgot.
think he's gonna bring him the chopper?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, is there another medic? The goat guy.
Yeah, I mean, those are his assistants at this point.
Beepo.
Beepo's not a doctor.
I thought their whole crew was doctors. I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Kinda, right?
No,
Isn't that
they're
their
all
point?
doctors.
They're the heart pirates.
The Heart Pirates are doctors.
Oh,
I mean, at first, I just assumed that only him was.
That's why
like,
Law is the only real combatant on that team because the rest
that's
of them are
interesting.
kind of actually just doctors.
Beppo's a combatant.
Beppo
Kinda.
needs to have his one-on-one.
Yeah,
No, he
There's
doesn't.
no way around it. Come on,
No, he
Odin. He's a
doesn't.
polar bear.
Yo,
wants that to
somebody from Law's crew has to show up at some point because Kid had to kill her.
They're there.
They did a cool thing.
No, dude.
Yo, Shonen and Penguin have to have a fucking one-on-one
Law-
battle with somebody.
Law is a
There's-
smooth criminal. He operates on his own, really.
Hey.
He's always operated on his own.
Shonen and Penguin are two similar-looking henchmen on Law's crew that are one of the few named ones.
Better
they-
than Kid.
Hey, okay. So also on the 3rd floor, both Raizo and this other guy, I forget his name. I know it's really long. They're doing paralysis jutsu on each other in the middle of engulfing flames. So
His
they're
head looked like a Q-tip.
yeah, they're basically just like waiting for the other one to burn. And
This nigga looked like Tonic. I got you.
yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, the flames hit Raizo first, so it's not looking good for Raizo. But he's like, do as you wish. Unfortunately for you, the flames have reached you first. My paralysis will fade as soon as you're dead. And Raizo's like, whatever. This feels great. You call this heat? I don't feel a thing. It's not bad. I'll put a thumbnail on it so you guys can see.
Some strong Odin vibes from Raizo right now.
Oh, yeah. He was born to boil.
Born to boil.
That's
He
his-
sure was. That's what I was thinking. You know, I at first I was like, maybe they're just being silly about the fire, but he really did enjoy. I mean, he wasn't in that oil cooking, but it was still mad hot outside of it. So I'm gonna give him the win on the heat, invulnerability versus tonic.
Can I throw
Sir
out a
Q-tip.
random theory
Yeah,
of my own? Might be out there. I think Raizo is a Kurozumi.
What's that?
This guy's family.
Oh,
The Shogun's family. I think he's one of them.
What's the significance?
The head. Something about it. Like the way his body is shaped, it's a lot like Orochi's.
Yeah, they both have brick head. They're both built the same.
Yeah.
Short brick head.
Yeah. Something tells me. And you know what? The thing, this guy has a particular beef against them. And it's interesting how Jack was looking specifically for Raizo when he attacked Zoe. If he just wanted to kill Raizo, I don't know. I feel like he went out looking for Raizo for some reason.
Wasn't Raizo in Kaido's prison though?
No.
I
Raizo was on Zoe.
Who was the one that was in Kaido's prison?
Kawamatsu.
Oh, Kawamatsu.
I think they were looking for samurai in general and knew
Maybe.
and had word that
Hey.
Raizo happened to.
That's very true.
I'm just
That's the
playing
whole of
devil's
my
advocate
theory.
here.
But
Yeah,
that's my toss
Where
into
the
the hat.
fuck is Kawamatsu right now?
He's in the battlefield.
I haven't.
I want him to have a cool moment because I like his design.
He's
Yeah, but when was the
scrapping.
last
He's
time we
fighting
saw
somebody.
him? Like everybody's had.
I think
more
he's hurt
notable
right
moment.
now. He had that fight against. No, he fought against.
He fought against Kaido. That's
Yeah,
He was
Kawamatsu. I remember
he
seeing.
was up there with them fighting with Kaido. Remember?
Oh no, but they got into more fights after the fact.
I remember
don't
After
seeing.
they got smoked.
I remember seeing Kawamatsu in just like a random shot of him fighting like henchmen.
Yeah.
So he's out there. Speaking of the devil, we cut back to the treasure repository where Orochi is chilling with Komurasaki with Hiyori, and I don't know why. I'm wondering if it's because like she's trying to draw Zoro over to him because Enma can hear the fucking the instrument she's playing. I don't know. I don't know what the significance of her keeping him there is.
That's something we should put more thought into, but maybe not this episode.
I think it's a game of keep away. Like Raizo's keeping fucking forehead motherfucker away, and she's keeping Orochi away. Like there's something that would happen if those two meet up again.
Yeah.
Something will happen. So I think that's why they're kind of separating them for now.
Maybe.
Because there is a significance. There's a reason why Odin is showing them both within the same like right after each other. You know, like they have some like there's something that's going on. Like if those two meet together, something will happen on Wano. So that's why they're kind of keeping them separate.
I agree with that. I think there's definitely like a play going on here, but
He believed that she died, but she didn't really die because that's Hiyori.
yeah, because that guy.
She died.
No,
It made
she's
him
the
think.
Komurasuke.
Yeah, I know, and but that's how he called
That
her.
was Denjiro who did it. Denjiro supposedly killed her, but like didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, we cut back to the second basement floor where Apu is running away with one of the numbers named Inbi.
And he's like, EB. As he's running. Why do they talk while they run? What's going, yo?
Yeah, he's running away because the CP0 guys turned out to be tougher than they look.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, Zanki, the other number that Yamato is familiar with, is down for the count, as is Diaz Drake. He's donezo.
How many times has he gotten his ass beat in this
Man.
one fucking arc?
That's that ancient Zoan durability, bro. They just keep getting back up.
I mean, not this time. Not this time.
he's gonna
done.
get. I have a strong feeling
Yeah.
that all these motherfucking beast pirates are gonna get back up. I have a strong feeling that they're gonna get the fuck back up.
You mean like the king and queen too?
Yeah, everybody. The Toby Roppo, all of them are gonna get back up. I have a strong feeling because
These are emperors.
think about it. the fucking they've mentioned before that these ancient awakened Zoans, they cannot be put down. They're gonna get back up. Like they always get back up. Like in Impel Down, those fucking the Minotaur shit, they got fucked up and they made it a point to say that they get back up.
Yeah.
So I have a strong feeling that these motherfuckers aren't done yet.
That's very true.
Who? All right. Prior to Wano, who are other ancient zones we knew? Marco, right?
Marco's a mythical zone because he's a phoenix.
But the distinction is that they're awakened zones. Awakened zones are the ones that get back up like instantaneously.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least King will be back.
I never heard of that. I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember hearing that.
It's an Impel Down, like where they mentioned that.
Okay.
It was a really long time ago.
Yeah. But yeah, Diaz Drake is down. They're going to be chasing after Nico Robin now, apparently, and they're just getting word the lead performers are down. And if the new generation should actually win this battle, it would be massive news and impact the impact will fan the flames of the incidents occurring all around the world. So, don't fuck this up.
What else is going on?
There's a lot of shit going on.
I mean, it's typical
Apparently.
One Piece where,
There's-
like, wherever there's an arc, the world is moving outside
yeah,
of it.
like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the raids on the warlords.
Of course, yeah.
There's everything going on in
Raids on the warlords.
Remember,
Yeah.
in one of the, interludes, all the warlords were being surrounded by the Navy.
Yeah, Kobe.
Wasn't that
Kobe
in the
versus Boa?
Wasn't what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Kobe's out to capture Boa. They're hunting down Mihawk. They're hunting down
Buggy.
Beevil.
Yeah, Emperor isn't he? I thought he was an emperor.
No, he's a
Yonko.
warlord.
And there's also everything going down at the what's it called again?
The Revery's done by now, but a lot
Yeah,
of shit
for sure.
shit went down in the Reverie that we'll learn about.
Mary Joa. Yeah, everything going down at Mary Joa. That's what it's called.
The Red Gate. Oh, the Red Wall. Oh, the Red Line. God damn it.
Get it together, man.
I think Red Wall is also another
Yeah,
thing
probably,
they called it.
yeah.
They've called it that before.
we know what you mean. But yeah, this chapter closes out with going back to Luffy and Kaido for the first time in a while. Damn it! That drop caught me off guard, but I love it so much. Yeah, Luffy and Kaido are going fucking at it, bro. Exchanging blows left and right.
Very Dragon Ball.
How
Z.
long has it been since we've seen Luffy?
Not
been
that long.
Maybe like 10 chapters.
Yeah, but I fucking every
Damn,
time
Really?
It only feels that way because Oda takes like 1 week off a month. So
every time we take a long break from Luffy, I actually miss him.
yeah.
He's such a fun character.
Yeah, he fucking rocks the shit out of Kaido with the rock gun, and he's actually hurting Kaido now that he's like getting the hang of the Ryu hockey.
Yeah, he's not just knocking him back.
Yeah, but yeah, they're both like having fun. Kaido lets out a row, 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 and Luffy lets out that he's having fun now, and so is Kaido. And that's where the chapter ends. Baller shit.
I think they're really starting to hammer in the mirror. Like they're actually just mirrored personas. Like they're the same kind of the same person.
I wonder.
Which is why he thought that Kaido was Joy Boy, and it's like, no, it ain't me. I like to laugh, but I'm a dragon
Yeah.
and kind of an asshole.
No, there are definitely parallels being drawn between Luffy and Kaido, especially, and how they got their most trusted crewmates within King and Zoro. It's all so like really cool. We can only make these kind of guesses because we know very little about what Kaido is, where he comes from. So I'm sure more parallels will be drawn from there. But this was a pretty sick chapter. Obviously, a lot to unpack. I guess I don't know. I don't know how the reaction to Usopp has really been, Usopp's thing, but I've heard like a couple of things about how Usopp is like taking a step backward lately in terms of his writing. And I mean, I don't know. I have like some kind of trust in Oda where I do get that like he's laying it on a little thick that Usopp is very much like an aggressive coward.
An aggressive coward. Wow.
But I don't know. It's something we touched on earlier, but like the draw of Usopp is that even though he is like a very big coward, he the thing that makes him a compelling character is that he just kind of sticks around. So, like, regardless of him being afraid. So
this just isn't his arc.
yeah,
Like, it's not his arc.
Elbaf is going to be his arc.
Yeah,
and he's
Elbaf
going to have
100.
multiple 1v1s, and he's going to
100%.
end up climbing up the ranks to the number 2 spot.
I think Elbaf is going to
I'm
be
tapping.
the Shanks arc too.
I think
it's
so
going to be
too.
Shanks too. But
Why?
because I
Just
mean,
because, or is
the hint
there-
is that Oda is hinting that whatever comes after Wano will probably be very Shanks centric.
and also Shanks's ship is kind of Nordic inspired. A
Yeah.
little bit.
You're actually right. It has like the dragon masthead.
So that could be his turf, his territory. And that's why Big Mom can't really fuck with giants. Because remember, like that's
she has beef with giants?
no, she wants a giant on her crew, but she can't get it.
Big Mom's
can't
whole
get
thing
one.
is that she's like, it's kind of like forced inclusion. Like she wants,
Yes.
it's like her big book of just like every species
yeah,
that she
yeah,
has.
yeah.
She wants a giant, but she could never get it for one reason or another.
And
Reasons unknown.
I think the reason why is because that's Shanks' turf, and she can't really just
That
be
is a really
waddling in
interesting
there
theory.
and getting a fucking giant recruit.
Without it being some type of major beef.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm trying not to panic about like the whole Usopp thing. I feel like it may be a little too blunt the way it's being executed with Usopp, but Oda has more than enough credit with me to just kind of like just wait and see. I mean, he loves Usopp obviously as a character.
Right.
Like Usopp is probably one of his favorites to write. So I don't think he's like being haphazard about his development in any way.
I've been rereading One Piece, and I just got done with Thriller Bark, and Usopp has had some incredible character writing, especially in the CP9 arc. So like him having like, you know, these moments where it's not like it doesn't always seem like he's moving forward. There's nothing wrong with that at the moment. Just because there's so much shit going on, you know what I mean? There's already so
Yeah,
many people that
sure.
need development. Like Zoro really needed some real development. Sanji is still in the middle of his like real development.
He's on the tail end, but
like-
Yeah. It's fun.
Like a lot of these characters, like there's still a lot of people who need more attention than Usopp at this moment. Like Usopp has had a lot of attention already, and I think his moment is going to come soon. But for now, I think I'm fine with Usopp, you know, just being himself at the moment. Like just him, you know, being the coward, being the smart guy, being the eye in the sky for the team at the moment.
Mhm.
He doesn't really need to be doing all that much this arc.
yeah,
Like it's about other people more than Usopp.
yeah.
My quick thought on that, just real, I'm confident because one, it's Oda, and you know Usopp was one of the original characters. You know, he's like the original 4, right? And then he's had major moments with Luffy and stuff. So, like I said, I think the fact that we keep getting a lot of the same stuff out of Usopp to me is encouraging, because it's almost like he's like lulling us into sleep. Like he's kind of like, you know, like drawing attention away from the fact just so he can like really focus on it at another time, but while still giving him attention. I mean, that showed maturity in what he was talking about. See, here's the thing. Usopp was I said it would be quick, but
No,
just
yeah,
how
take
I
your
look at it, like Usopp was a coward before, but would front about it. I mean, he wouldn't be shy about being a coward when shit hit the fan, but he would also pump fake like he wasn't. When we first seen him after the time skip, he was talking to Nami saying, I'm not that coward no more. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I believed him. I thought Oda was really trying to make something of that. Even though they made a joke and he got scared of something like immediately after, I did really think he was going to take that step. And that didn't happen per se, maybe on a combat level where he's super confident in himself. But I do see the maturity and growth in the decisions he makes and how he talks, like post time skip.
I feel like he knows how to measure himself better now. Like he knows where his strengths lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll close it out because I do
Sure.
want to respond to that. I think what Brian said about how the samurai are like very prideful and like trying to like die for a cause as opposed to Usopp, who's fighting to live. I think there is something to that for sure. Because I think what Usopp said is that, like doesn't doesn't match with what he's actually doing. He's still like, as he's saying all this shit about how he doesn't care, he'll just run away. He's not ready to die. He'll like do whatever it takes to avoid it. He's still standing there, you know, like, and I think it's less than him just like yelling about how scared he is and more trying to convince the samurai to leave together as opposed to like leaving apart. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to one sacrificing themselves for the other. And I think that's really deep. And I think like the biggest turning point in terms of Usopp's development was way back in Arlong Park when he started fighting the Fishman for the first time. He ran away immediately and he like tried to make these excuses after he got punched in the face super hard. He's like dirtying himself so he can like make up a story to Nami about how like he gave it his all and, you know, he just couldn't take it. He couldn't do it.
Wow.
But, you know, and he felt really shameful for that. And that's a very stark difference to his granular development where he's still scared, but in a way that makes him the bravest person because he's still there. He's among these monsters and he doesn't actually cut and run.
Yeah.
He will strategically retreat, but that's about
Tactical retreat.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the Usopp situation and this chapter. Are you boys ready to move onward?
Yes, sir.
Then let's go.
My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 339, the story of how we all became heroes, part 2. This is a short chapter. This is like 15 pages.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is another one of those situations where it makes right after you say that, it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, it was short.
Yeah. Last we left off, Aoyama was being taken away into custody, and the heroes were resolving to go out and I guess, you know, mitigate some of the damage that like the villains are unleashing upon Japan, and take the fight to one for all. But the first things first, they got to get their suits fixed. So, you know, they go to Hatsume, the support student, and they basically ask her, like, hey, can you help us? And she's like, no, I cannot, because I do not have the necessary specifications to your costumes or whatnot. So, you know, on top of that, the support corps is actually very busy working on the UA barrier, among other things. So, yeah, she basically turns them down real fast, but she goes to her desk and just starts, like, tinkering with her left hand while also, like, looking over her plans for fucking flying evacuation shelters with her right hand, which is pretty cool. I always like Hatsume, but I'll get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, we will.
So, yeah, as she's, like, freaking out about her new inventions, Deku is like starting to remark, is like, whoa, she doesn't really know what the fuck happened out there. And she's like, actually, I do. I know. I'm aware that shit's really bad out there, but, you know, we're not fighters. The best thing we can do is to invent as many things as possible and be problem solvers in our own way, because inventing stuff is how the heroes how the support course does heroics.
Yeah, got a cute picture of her.
Yeah.
That's nice. Not better than the first one.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? When I first was reading this, I didn't realize how much of a babe Hatsume was. And now
what a babe.
Yeah.
What a tubular babe.
Inventive babe.
Inventive bae. She then tosses Midoriya just some like patched together things of his gloves that she just basically fixed with one hand. So, you know, it's not going to be like full strength, but it'll do for now. I like that Deku keeps his face caved in, little drawing. Ida gets all of his armor shoved into his face.
Oh, wow.
Caves in his glasses into his face. Very funny illustration. Very vintage My Hero, I guess, in terms of just just a little humor style. So yeah, they gather around with the others. Class 1A meets up with Mount Lady, and I think that's it. I think they're just going with her for now. She's the only teacher I see. And basically their first thing is to go in and like do some shit, I guess. They're gonna.
Yeah, did they clarify what they're doing right now? Are
They're
they
gonna
like
go
practicing, or they're about to go?
They're
do
gonna fight
something
some
now?
villains. They're gonna take
Now?
down some of the Liberation Front as well as the League of Villains. So they're not going directly after Shigaraki right now.
Right, but I thought, all right, I thought they was planning about what they're about to do. Not like, hey, we're about to go do these things now, today. We're gonna start.
Yeah,
I guess there's no problem with that.
I guess they're doing some like low voltage type shit. They're not like doing the big things. They're just like whittling down numbers until it's actually time to act. Because Mountain Lady says that their best case scenario is still finding and mopping up the Liberation Front and the League of Villains as soon as possible. So I guess they're gonna stay close to the shelter and basically do what they can to mitigate any damage that villains might be doing on the outside at the moment. And they're gonna do it together as a supporting cast. So hopefully we get some spotlight. So they're about to go off.
Bakugo had me crying. All right, so when I was reading this shit, at first I read whammy as like whack. All right, because I kind of just like went ahead. I said, assuming he ain't. And because after what we said, I was like, oh, yeah, like what he's trying to imply is that he don't, assuming he doesn't get smoked by All For One. But the nigga says whammy. I thought he said whacked by all. I thought he's really like, so he don't get whacked out. I've been watching too much, what's the show? Harlem Gangster.
That's a show.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh.
Where they talk about
Harlem Godfather.
God, I keep fucking the name up. Yeah, Harlem Godfather. He's like, you're going to have to whack him. I was like, yo, niggas used to talk like that.
Oh,
Get you whacked.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the Kansai region, we actually see Nejire for the first time since the paranormal.
Oh, time skip, half hair,
kinda time skip, like maybe a couple months. Yeah, her hair's shorter. She seems to have done something, but I mean, she doesn't
blasted one of these.
Yeah, she really doesn't get as much spotlight as the other two of the big three that were introduced. But hopefully that changes soon. They're out there saving people. And
Mirio isn't there, right?
Mirio is not there.
Why? Why is he not there?
He's probably doing something else.
Why is he never with them? He's never with the other two. He's always off doing some other shit.
He was with Sun Eater during the attack on Overhaul's thing, right?
Until he said, I'm gonna go ahead and
Overhaul
beat that
literally
nigga.
He literally sped run. He did an any % speed run to fucking Overhaul.
Hey, I mean, you gotta have your Luffy to your Zoro, and he had his Zoro stay behind and handle the thugs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Handle the thugs. I'm going for the boss.
Yeah, for real.
You see on the other side.
Yeah. So they're gonna take them to Shiketsu High, which is the Air Guy's school, if you remember him. I forget his name.
That guy's fire.
It's been a long time.
What is it, Tempest or some shit?
Tempest is his hero name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they're worried about like fewer people, meaning less intel. So like, I guess the more people they save, the less eyes on the street they really have, because they'll be shipping everybody off into shelters. That's the way I looked at it, I guess.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, Fat Gum says that at this point, gone are the days of sneak attacks and raids. Now we're just gonna be straight fighting in the streets, which is, I guess, preferable. Because we've had a lot of raids. And
nobody really has an upper hand in this fight right now.
Yeah.
It's all leveled playing field until Shigaraki comes back.
Yeah. And this chapter ends with All Might talking about their plan B. And they're about to reveal the key info about the other battle that could decide it all. And that's where this chapter ends.
I'm thinking, who could that possibly be? I feel like battle could be like
Euphemism for something.
Yeah,
or
purposely
metaphorically?
yeah, it's like a metaphorical battle. I think it has something to do with Shirakumo.
With who?
Shirakumo
With the Nomu that's this guy's friend, that Aizawa's friend.
Oh,
because they need a like Aoyama is their plan A, I think. Like when it comes to like getting an inside view of what's going on. I think plan B is Shirakumo to unlock that so that they can have like literally a plethora. If they could crack Shirakumo, you know how much information they can get on the operation from the inside? They could get so much because Shirakumo was literally in the center of everything.
Yeah.
Like when they were planning shit.
Yeah.
Word up,
And he
word
was
up.
he was hand chosen by All for One.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no shot that he doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Remember when he put his tentacles in him and made him activate his ability? Wasn't that fucking crazy? It looked
Yeah.
so painful. Like what he...
Yeah,
that was good
forced
art.
activation.
Yeah. Like it looks like it's not a nice thing that happens to you.
No, definitely not.
Like even if your quirk never actually really hurts you or damages you, it will when he does it. Just because he's a jerk.
And if it's an actual battle, then I don't know who could possibly... Like, I'm pretty sure Mirio would have to be involved just because we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm trying to think of who else we haven't seen. And, like, we don't know where Aizawa is at the moment.
Aizawa was in the hospital.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still healing. I'm sure he'll be on the scene eventually. Right?
Yeah, they showed him last chapter. He was like talking to Aoyama.
Yeah, he was like on video, but is it
hospital.
confirmed that he was in a hospital?
Yeah, he was videoing in from the hospital.
Okay.
He got fucked
I
up.
thought he was like in a separate location going somewhere.
He got 12 different forms of fucked up.
Yeah,
dude.
he's still fucked up from that battle that happened only a few months ago.
I mean, come on. He's, for all intents and purposes, a regular person.
I'm not mad about his healing rate. I'm mad about why is that only a few months ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, RGC.
Oh, is this your RGC?
Yeah.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified
Oh, of course it is, Brian.
I don't know, man. This felt like a
No.
classic My Hero chapter. It
was fun.
so
Yeah,
fun.
it sure did, Brian.
It was.
sure
You're
did.
gonna tell me it wasn't classic My Hero?
Yes, I'm telling you, it is. But you see, what
Exactly.
you mean by that, what I mean by that is two completely different things, apparently.
What do you
To
mean?
me, what
What's your
classic
problem?
My Hero Academia is at this point in my life and reading career is talk, skip to the next thing. That's exactly what was going on. Lots of showing.
It was
all
a nice,
this.
humorous chapter. It was nice. It was
I don't care about that, bro, because he's burnt those. I need to see something go down. I need to see some fights. I need to see some. I'm over. I don't want to see the slice of life. Take a breath of air between each thing, because everything else has been sped through and lackluster anyway. I want them to get to the good shit. Remember before when I was trying to be positive about the whole Aoyama being the traitor? Maybe there's so much more to that. I've lost a lot of confidence in the potential for all of that, but I'm still trying to think. You know what? The battles are going to be fucking crazy. He's telling us he's literally taken like 3 chapters already to say the same shit, which is no more sneaky deaky. It's all battle now. It's going to be crazy. Just straight up. This is the final event. Well, let's get the climax popping.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm tired of the bullshit.
I feel like we're looking over some important details.
No,
though.
I'm looking over it.
Yeah,
you're
you-
not. You're
Like-
appreciating every page, and I'm very envious of you. Not
like,
me, nigga.
It's very clear. Like, this is the second time they brought up the modules. And I feel like they're setting up another set piece, like action thing that's gonna be happening in UA. Because there's no reason why he would introduce this module shit for the civilians or whatever.
right,
like
right.
the
Without
movement
it being a major.
without it coming in handy, like later on.
I think we talked about this already, bro. Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
just to kind of touch base, I feel like we did talk about this, and like one of the predictions I want to say I had, but I think maybe we all kind of thought about this, was that it's going to facilitate a lot of like group / one-on-one scenarios. I'm over with thinking that it's 2022 now. I don't just expect people to get traditional one-on-ones anymore. It is what it is. It's fine. I'll live my life and still read comics. With that said, I think it's going to introduce a lot of really cool situations where people are kind of trapped in a certain area where they either have to defend people, or it's just an all-out brawl, or maybe they're in a really fucked up situation where they got to help others and do it. There's a lot of cool stuff that could come from that. And, yo, what about people's losing, getting beat up? Oh, we're going to send the reinforcements via the rooms. I already know that's going to happen. I called it.
It would be like a throwback, kind of a throwback arc where, like, you know, the characters got split up and put into different.
You already Yatu Sabe. That's what y'all say, right?
Yatu Sabe.
I know that's what I say. That's what I personally say.
But the thing that I really liked about this chapter was, like the humor. It's been a while since we've had like a cute little funny chapter, you know. Like, where we get to, like... And I guess that's what we really needed from a support character. Like, people who aren't, like, so serious or so fucking, like, caught up in their own heads. Like, when he first walked into that room, you can see, like, he's mad serious, right? Like, he comes in, he's mad serious. He's like, I need this shit. You don't even know what the fuck is going on and shit. And by the end of the chapter, you could see that shit slowly thawing out. Because it put things into a broader perspective. Like, when you're a hero and you're out on the fucking streets, the world almost seems smaller than it is. But with these support heroes, their whole world is inside of this fucking room. Like, they are
because of the circumstances.
Yeah, they're literally sitting in here, grinding their fucking asses off, focused on only what they need to do to get shit set up. And it kind of shows that, and they're also not even, like, that serious either. They're not even, like, coming in. They're not even, like, fucking hard focused. You can see they're still smiling. They're still having a good time. They're still, like, you know, it's like nothing ever happened to them. And that is like really fucking cool. I like to have people like this on your side. People who are basically like unshaken by the world. That they're always there to put their head down and get shit done. And that's what I feel like that's what Deku learned from them, kind of.
From this interaction?
Yeah, from this because you can literally see it on Deku's face that he's like trying to stay serious and shit the whole time, but you literally can't, because if these guys can't afford to still be happy while doing their shit, then he can too.
With all the stress of the world on their shoulders,
exactly.
Where they may not be fine. But yeah. And you know what? I also want to kind of go back and I went ham, but like I do want to say I do slightly agree with you that this to me really was kind of like a classic My Hero Academia chapter. I'm a little over it, but like I'll just explain a little bit. You know, the way they go about talking about the things that you wouldn't, I guess, quote unquote, normally think about, and not in real life, because we do think about these things unless you're a fucking child, in my opinion. But like usually in manga and comics, they don't focus on supporting cast and make a point to say that, hey, what these guys do really does matter. But you see, it is the classic thing that he does. He did that a lot early in the series, and it was really cool because it was different. But, you know, now when he does it, it's just more of the lip service. It's just more exposition. Like, does that really matter? What happened in this chapter, bro?
Here's what I'll say.
They got the same equipment they've been had already. That's all that happened, and we got to see Hatsume.
Here's what I'll say. Like,
Am I bugging?
I'll say there's
what else happened?
I'll let Brian finish his point.
There's a noticeable difference between this chapter and the last 3 chapters, is what I will say. And what I'm willing to put out there is that I feel like Horikoshi lost sight of what made the series unique in an aspect when it comes to his character writing. Because like when I first I agree with that. This chapter threw me way back to like season 1 when I read it. I'm like, wow, this feels like a completely different series when I read this chapter. Like, you're right that this chapter is basically saying the same thing that the last 3 chapters did, but the way that this one said it is almost like it's actually My Hero Academia in a sense. I feel like he's so caught up in like the overarching like everything that he kind of forgot what made the series so fun and so lighthearted. And that's why I feel like this chapter was kind of like a return to that. And I really enjoyed it. Like, maybe this chapter didn't accomplish much. Maybe this chapter didn't, like, really change anything about the series so far. but it did, revive some like old but gold things that Horikoshi used to write with his characters.
Yeah. Man, I always find myself in the middle of you two because I that's
The
where I very
unbiased king.
I mean, always. I am your unbiased king. No,
the
but
crown on your head.
yeah, I mean, I definitely see where both of you are coming from. It is difficult with Horikoshi because he does have a tendency of repeating information, and not only that, he's very much a tell don't show type of guy. So he'll just reiterate the goals and the objectives to reach those goals over and over again, which is annoying. And it is weird. For as much as we get on My Hero Academia for what seems like a very fast pace, in this particular thing where he's setting up goals and objectives, which is basically, like a skeletal mechanic in storytelling is, the quest, you have the obstacle to get through, so on and so forth. You see it in a lot of D&Ds. In order to do this, you got to do this. In order to do that, you got to do this. Mm-hmm. And that's what reading My Hero Academia feels like for the last couple weeks, is just like a DM's checklist.
Yeah, kind of.
It is rough, And what I did appreciate, though, is I get what Brian's saying also about how what Hatsume brings and reuniting with Hatsume in the same way that he did way back in the day when he had to get his initial costume upgrade. It is just kind of like snapping Deku more out of that like dark Deku phase he was going through and reacquainting himself with the fact that he's not alone anymore and he is not the only person who has to fight this battle. So that's the purpose that this serves. It's more, I guess, character interaction between Hatsume and just like trying to get Deku back to a solid foundation of optimism. So, I see the pluses and the minuses of what both of you guys are saying. It's hard to really criticize because like My Hero Academia is technically not doing anything technically wrong, technically.
No, they're not. We just
but it is just I don't know. It's slogging along, but it's also so fast.
I think this and I swear this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and y'all can respond as y'all please. But I found the page that I find as I was reading, I rolled my eyes and was like, so I'll read it to you. Of course, I'm aware of the nasty predicament you heroes are facing out there. We may not be fighters, but just like how you guys are trying every trick in the book to protect as many people as possible, tackling it in our own way, inventing stuff, is how the support course does heroics. Do you know what my problem? All right, so this is all right. Yeah, this was it. We got stuff like this early in this series where he again makes the emphasis to shout out shit that we wouldn't normally think about. But that's all he does with it. He doesn't give them any extra spotlight. He didn't even make them have cool fucking uniforms or nothing. I guess maybe in the fights he'll be like, "Oh yeah, there was this thing she did," and it's like, all right, I guess I'll eat crow when that happens. All right, but like, man, there's been so many times when that's all we've gotten out of certain characters is just, hey, these guys are important and they mean something and they do cool stuff. All right, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's thinking about how this is where. Again, like big problem, tell don't show, is what Horikoshi's doing, where we have Zoro and Luffy who are upgrading as they go, learning as they go. We see it happen physically because that's important because manga is a visual medium more than anything else. So I feel like the best way to, I guess, do this would be like, I don't know, maybe it's an art thing. Maybe have Hatsume, instead of just like kind of explaining this stuff, we see what she's working on, as opposed to like the little panels of just the blueprints of the thing. I don't know. I don't claim to have all the answers.
This is what I think. I think this shows like a clear shift in hero society already. Not to say that this is like not to say that Horikoshi's doing this in a good way, but what I think his intention is that it's not like the support used to be about the heroes in the past, right? But now it's about the civilians. So it's like a clear shift, and heroes are getting no freebies anymore. Like
Right,
they're
yeah.
not getting like the support they used to get all the time. Because right now these guys, they're overloaded right now. They're already dealing with a lot of shit. They can't afford to waste any time just to give somebody a fucking good makeup. Even though I'm a little disappointed that they didn't get like a new suit or some shit or new items. But it just makes sense that like something's got to give with all these sacrifices that the heroes are making, you know? Like something's got to give, and support, like getting support items, getting new and improved shit. Like these support guys, they don't have the time to be doing that shit anymore.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I'll
that
give
is
you
a
that
really
point
good
for
point.
sure. I think the point of Deku and Ida not walking away with much is that we're supposed to be like, yo, it's crazy that she accomplished even as much as she did while also building a whole infrastructure for an escape route.
Right, which
So-
is like, I mean, that's cool, but she's also a fictional character.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to play that card.
It is hard. No,
because when you do that,
It's realistic.
how many other
barriers.
scrutinies are you gotta do it with everything?
No, but I'm saying if the point,
It's rough, man. But I get
I'm
what
gonna
Brian.
let it go. I'll let
Yeah, we're getting a little lost in the weeds here.
it go. Good, well said.
But I will say that like I didn't hate this chapter at all.
I didn't hate it either.
I thought it was
guess.
fine. It is.
It just annoyed me.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
it.
I didn't hate it at all. I feel like we come off as My Hero Academia haters a lot. We don't.
I'll
But
own it. That's mostly me. It's fair. You can direct your hate towards
I
Josh
promise
Cole.
that even Josh, it's not hate My Hero Academia as much as he probably thinks he does. I feel like there's a deep core in both of us that we both very much love this series, but it is not in its best state, in our opinion, at the moment.
In 2/3 of our opinion.
Yeah, in 2/3 of our
Even
opinion.
I wouldn't say My Hero's in its best spot.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
I'm willing to, I'm willing to put things aside and just enjoy things sometimes. And this was a good chapter to like put the negatives aside and just enjoy.
Yeah. He has 2 weeks though. He has 2 weeks to figure shit out.
Before the series ends.
No, it's on break next week.
Oh.
Anyway,
Man.
I suppose we should move onward. Thanks for listening to our spiel. Let's move on.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 170, Tokyo number 1 colony part 10. Last we left off, Megumi was getting it in against Reggie. Meanwhile, Hakaba ran off to fight Explodey Teeth Man. So that's fun. But this chapter is mostly centric on the battle between Megumi and Reggie Star. The chapter opens up with Megumi summoning his giant cool ass elephant that I like elephants a lot, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's called the Max Elephant, which is very cool.
Sure.
Very Max. It shoots water out. And
I bet you that's its name in Japanese too.
Maxu Elephant.
Yeah, whatever. Wow, we ate shit. Oh my god, sorry guys.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Maximum elephant.
Maximilian Elephant shoots his water at it, distracting Reggie. And that's when Megumi jumps off of a roof and tries to catch him real shisty with the rabbits and his giant knife. But Reggie pulls off one of his receipts, tosses it, and it turns into a giant net. Megumi dodges that, and we learn the name of his cursed technique. It's called contractual recreation.
I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't awesome, but it wasn't lame. I don't know. It was
I like
just
the name.
It was cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I like the name. He turns a couple of receipts into kitchen knives and flings them telekinetically over to Megumi. And I called it. Turns out Megumi can, not Megumi, Reggie can manifest whatever is printed on the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
So And it goes even so far as to non-physical things. So he can basically recreate his condition after a 2-night stay in a 3-star the 5-star Japanese inn. That's pretty crazy. To fucking heal yourself with the receipts, dude.
Yo, when he did that, I was like, wow, that is fucking creative. And you seen Megumi like, damn. That's like when you... Oh, man, I can't even give an example because it's very specific to Pokemon.
I mean,
it's a competitive play.
Hey, go for it.
Dog, all right, for the guys that play competitive Pokemon, man, when you trying to wear down like a wall, like something like Blissey or Skarmory, bro, you get that shit real low, like you trying to get that killing blow on it, and you just miss out on the kill, then you watch it just heal its health with Recover or Softball, the Roost, and you're just like, wow, all that fucking effort, you stupid pink blah bitch. I'm talking about Blissey, by the way. She's the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
That's what Reggie just did. He just did that. He just Blissied.
It was just, I like that. I like
He used a max restore potion.
For real.
Yes, that's exact. He used a full restore and it's like a sensu bean basically, and Megumi looked at him like, wow, like that's annoying. It is.
Yeah.
It's mad because it's not like he's scared, but he's like, this just got way harder than it needed to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, after some risk assessment, Megumi actually decides to fucking run. He summons Nue and he flies off. Reggie summons some drones because he got that shit off of Amazon.
Oh, a few of them said, I don't know where the fuck you think you going with that decrepit ass bird. Let me send these drones. And then he fucking manifests a scooter. I was like, this nigga's on fire right now. Like, he's got everything he needs. What?
My God, ever since we got into the culling game, I'm in a constant competition over which sorcerer I love more.
Oh,
it's so good.
Yeah, man. I like the joke guy a lot, but
there's Hakuba, there's Higuruma, there's fucking Reggie now. There's Exploding Teeth Man even.
He was pretty cool. He's burning all these lit-ass ideas on goons. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know why? Because Gege Akutami is like, don't worry, I have more.
Akutami, he's been waiting his whole life to make this series. Because what I've learned with like certain manga artists is that they have that dream series and it never really pans out.
Yeah.
Then they try a couple more times and they finally hit fire with that series. This one, he knew when he was 8 years old or 9 years old and he was drawing his bullshit in his fucking comic and his marble notebook or whatever fucking notebooks they use in Japan.
He knew.
This was it. This was it.
He said, my guy will have receipts and that will be his power.
He said, he was drawing guys with domain expansions and come on, man.
Oh my God. He was fucking excited.
This was his child.
Yeah.
And I feel all the love and care that's put into this like comic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to address that a little bit later, actually, too.
Yeah, so Reggie scoots along on a scooter to a gymnasium where he follows Megumi into, and he's like, did he flee in there, or is he luring me in? I could burn him out, but I don't want another chase.
So check this out. Like, I guess he kind of lost track of him on the moped since he was in the sky, but he was able to watch where he was going via the fucking drone, which I guess,
drones.
If you're not slow like me, you would understand that that's what drones are for anyway.
Yeah.
It was a realization to me. I was like, and he was, he's just on top of it. He was on top of him.
Yeah, for real.
He really had this nigga sweating.
Yeah.
Megumi.
And Megumi is inside of a gymnasium, just like, good, it's spacious as I hoped. And that's when Reggie pulls up. And he's like, are you planning something, you foul brat? So yeah, he's like, I bet you're plotting something too. He's like, who knows? A sorcerer is nothing but a con artist.
Look at the subtle. Did you notice?
The little receipt finger? That he just went,
Oh no, he didn't throw the receipt. He used the receipts already. That was him doing the command.
Oh yeah, he was just like,
which he explains a little bit later.
On
I
what?
did want you to pay attention to that. Like how subtle that was.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at first.
I really like that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, the second he does that, 2 fucking trucks come in and just blast through the walls, and Megumi's like, damn.
Oh, man, I let what that nigga said earlier kind of make me not pay attention.
Yeah.
To
So
the
he pulls a rush hour and hides underneath the cars, and he just gets like some fucking pots. Fucking.
This is when
flopping.
Megumi starts getting fucked up. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I was just like, oh, yo, Megumi.
This motherfucker pulled out some strats from fucking Home Alone.
Dog, he went full Macaulay Culkin on him. You're right. Yo, yeah. Son, nigga drops pots out the sky on him.
Yeah. No.
And that hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. I mean, he is bleeding from the head.
It's cursed energy
Nigga
at the
died,
end of the day.
and
so.
it's boosted by... Yeah. So, aside
And then
the
he
point...
just stabs him more.
So, yo, he dodges one, but the other one hits on the head. Very realistic.
No, both of them hit him.
Oh, they both hit him.
Yeah,
and he
one on
gets
his
slashed.
one on his back and one on his head.
Oh my god, poor guy. Then he gets slashed for his troubles, and he's like, "Yeah, you think you're the only guy that can use combos?" I didn't think about that. This is kind of like, all right, he says it. Let me not get too far ahead of myself.
He throws a daikon at him. Like, he just pulls out a vegetable.
Oh, but guess what?
There's a knife right behind his shadow
How lit is
shuriken
that?
jutsu style. He's just tossed the fucking
Then he hits him with a fucking kick like
with
that.
his bare foot.
Ew. He's been walking around like that all day.
With the bare foot that he's been walking around on the street
He
with.
did use the spy not that long ago,
That's
though,
true.
so it could be worse.
Hey, you're right.
I'm assuming they have foot scrubs.
Why is he barefoot?
At the Starry Sky Japanese
He doesn't
motel.
have to be barefoot. Why is he completely naked underneath those receipts? I don't understand.
But if you could rock any sneakers if you manifest any sneaker you want at any time, how would you be able to decide what to put on your feet?
That would-
I think that's a legitimate reason
Hey,
for
you're
why
Talking
he's
about
barefoot.
cursed kicks.
damn,
Yes.
you're right, man.
Cursed kicks.
Man. For a guy who's just like so strategic in which receipts he decided to just toss out there, he's very indecisive about his footwear, I guess.
Was that a pun?
cursed kicks?
I think I messed that up. I think I misinterpreted that, but now it's a pun. You said cursed kicks. I'm thinking you talking about the sneakers, but I think you meant the actual kick. That was a pun. Unintentional,
know.
guys.
I don't know.
It was. Wait, is it still? It's not a pun if it's not intentional.
That's
That's what we call a bar. That's a bar.
That is a bar.
It's a bar.
That was a bar.
Well,
Double entendre.
Yes.
and that's a bar.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah. You ain't the only one, Jay. Fuck
Yeah.
out of here. We in Brooklyn too. What do you call him? The monster, the double entendre. He says something slick.
He says
that's
something
my
like
guy.
that.
Yeah, Jay-Z's the best.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Megumi's down bad. He's like, whoa. He's bleeding. He's on his knees, and Reggie is like, give me your points and I'll give you an easy death. And Megumi just ignores that completely and is like, bear techniques are difficult. And you already know what time it is. He said it's hard to place an artificial environment over a real space of a different size for very long. He's like,
No way.
no way.
This little nigga.
Stop it. Yo, shut the fuck up. No
Nah.
way. He says, I can use the space in this gym as a perfect fit for my domain. And Reggie's like, he can do that.
Real quick. I love the fact that Reggie knew shit was over once he started monologuing to himself.
He said, oh. He said, no.
Reggie was like, oh, nah, he's monologuing.
What did I get myself into? Oh shit!
oh, nah.
Cursed monologue.
So, yeah, I mean, you know what time it is. The very next page, 2-page spread. Megumi activating his domain expansion, Chimera Garden Shadow.
Is this the first time that we've seen his
In a
domain
while.
expansion?
fully.
The last time he
manifested, I
did it,
think.
it wasn't ready.
It was partial.
Was it
He
was it when
wanted
he
that
summoned
trope.
that fucking crazy ass Shikigami?
yeah.
The one that just fucking starts scrapping with everybody?
Oh, that was his ability.
Yep. Yeah, last time we saw this, it wasn't good for him.
Yeah, it attacked him as well, but hopefully he can. His power is not just summoning that thing. That's just one of the.
This is the activation part. I forgot. It's been a long time since I've seen his Chimera Garden Shadow. So,
Damn, I gotta go back to check that shit.
oh yeah, but yeah, it's looking real bad for Reggie. I'm very into it. That's where the chapter ends. Big ass 2-page spread of his domain expansion.
Yeah.
RGC. I think
RGC, double time that shit.
Certified RGC.
And the only reason Brian didn't say this is the RGC.
it's a really good chapter, by the way.
Really good chapter.
For the new listeners, this is our really good chapter of the week.
Yeah, we do that for one of the 5 or 4 or 3, depending on what's
Whenever,
on break.
our favorite chapter of the week.
World Trigger is always the RGC unconditionally though when it is part of the.
I mean, I would say that.
So we don't say it. No, we just it's.
Oh, in our hearts.
It's one of the unwritten rules in the. I forgot the line from Joe Dirt.
Anyway, what were you gonna say about the chapter?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. RGC, right? Oh, I had a few things I wanted to say. So, we crack jokes about it, about how over detailed Jujutsu Kaisen can be sometimes. Mostly with the dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Like with the exposition and stuff, which I appreciate. And I'm also a little annoyed by sometimes, when I feel like it's overdone. It's like, all right, bro, it's okay. We get it.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
But, man, something that what initially annoyed me, but I refound an appreciation for in this chapter was what I want to say is the detail that's put into like this. No, the amount of detail that's put into like the situational combat in Jujutsu Kaisen. And by situational combat, I guess I mean all of the outside factors that have to do with anything that's not directly related to the two fighters' skills. Let's use this chapter as an example, right? Because this was a very clear. You want to talk about a classic Jujutsu Kaisen chapter? This was it right here. We had two people who, even though Megumi didn't know what his cursed ability was, and he did find out eventually, which puts you at an inherent disadvantage, I still think Megumi is clearly the better fighter. He's more experienced. He can deal with cursed energy. I mean, he's like I said, he sussed out his ability really fast, you know? So on a one-on-one fight in a vacuum, Megumi wins this. You know what I'm saying? But as we see in a lot of other fights, I'll bring up another detail in a second. There's so many factors that, like, I guess, like for their environment, right? I like how they were in an alley. Like the first scene we get is just straight action. They're in an alley. He's got his elephant going after him in a tight confined space. Really smart. But then he also goes for like that water move, which shows, he's thought like, okay, I could probably catch him slipping, and then went above to the buildings to take advantage of him getting surprised if he wasn't, done in by those moves or whatever. That is all something that you can't really like flesh out in a comic without that already being the case of what you do. It's like literally ingrained. And even outside of, I don't want to say outside of combat, but in every combat and action scene, these external factors, like, they just add like so much detail, and honestly, it makes the combat stand out. Like in this series, more than anything else I've read. I mean, there's other series I probably still like more and enjoyed their combat maybe a little bit more, like World Trigger or something like that. But even World Trigger's not as unique. You know what? I got to take that back, because that's what the rank was all about, actually, was using. So I actually, let me relax. But I guess that's why I really appreciate it with Jujutsu Kaisen as well, because they do that like in World Trigger.
I also want to say, you're right that in a vacuum, Megumi wins these 100%. And you're right that all these fights, all these set pieces are set up by situations. Like Megumi came into this fight already not 100%. So that already like levels the playing field to an extent. So it's like he's always setting things up perfectly for these amazing fucking fight scenes. Like that's why his fight scenes are so good, is because he knows how to properly set them all up. I can't think of a shitty fight in Jujutsu Kaisen, because he sets all of them up to perfection. to perfection.
Even if it's not super like, I don't remember every single fight, but I feel like if we was to like look at highlights of the series, we would immediately be like, yo, remember when this and that. Every fight is kind of is a monster, is like its own situation. So I'm glad you brought up the whole damage part, because that was going to be my next major point, right? Now here's my thing, right? This is something that we see, I feel like, done a lot in other comics where, you know, characters accumulate damage for, you know, one way or another, you know.
And it doesn't really affect them, really. Either
it won't affect them, or they use that kind of as a gimmick to like, all right, this is what I thought, right? I feel like it's generally used as like a soft nerf to like characters, right? To kind of explain like why someone would lose that fight against someone they shouldn't, or why it would be a closer fight. You know what I'm saying? I guess I probably could think of some examples off the top of my head, but I'm sure we can all remember moments. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is a lot like that, just for something we've all read. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why the sensu beans is such a big deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But if I'm relating it to this manga, right? Megumi had accumulated harm, like damage, right? And that in of itself wasn't enough for him to like be at a disadvantage against this guy through his seat. But it was then, after the fact that he was able to heal himself, Megumi had to think. That was in that window when they showed his eye, which I talked about a lot. I thought that was so slick. It was so subtle, because that was him understanding, oh, this is a way different fight than I think it's going to be. It's one thing with someone having flashy moves. It's just a matter of figuring out their rhythm and understanding how you could find some way to counter it or find the opening. He's got to, like, you know, he understood that I need to, this is not going to work for me. Let me get out of here. And he does this all the time in his comics. Even in the fight with Okotsu, when Okotsu pulled up on Itadori, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was a small scene when like Itadori was running, he jumps through like the car, but grabs like a knife out of it, right? I remember like kind of cracking a joke about it, like, oh, well, what if the knife wasn't there? And it's just like, that's the point. It was there, and it's cool that he's adapting to that. And it's like, if it was a one-off thing, that would be like, whatever, who cares? But it's the fact that he consistently does that. I think that not only does these like small, like these details just, again, make it stand out more than any other series, like combat wise, aside from World Trigger. It also adds to the rereadability of it. You know, I say the replay value, like how we say in the video games. Cause bro, like you can literally read the chapter 3 times and pick up on stuff. Even if it's stuff, if you've seen everything in the pictures, just your thought process, like, you know what? I didn't realize that these things led to that. Like, it used to annoy me because I felt like he's creating these external things just for the sake of making it better. But I feel like that's unfair to because that's his style. He's been doing it, and it generally makes for really interesting content.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had to say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think what sets Jujutsu Kaisen apart from a lot of manga we've read is that Akutami is extremely structured, and I think Jujutsu Kaisen and World Trigger are very similar, and that's why we really can't pick them apart, because I feel like they share the same philosophy of very rigidly choreographed battle scenes. So, you know, like both series have strict rules that they abide by. They have very structured mechanics in their battles that they adhere to at every cost. Whereas say something like, you know, One Piece or Black Clover, which are a little more freewheeling because the power systems are more bombastic and more for show than, you know, like the granular details of every other of Jujutsu Kaisen and World Trigger for the most part. And not one is not better than the other. It's just a preference that Josh and I have in particular, where we could see these we very much appreciate the thought and effort it goes to creating these very stringent rules in terms of combat, because there's a lot like a high wire act where you have so many opportunities to write yourself into a corner intellectually when it comes to a battle scene. But, you know, Akutami has such a grip on what his system is that it never happens. So it always feels like a magic trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Whenever Ashihara or Akutami like pulls off a fight scene that's really good, it's really because like, damn, you have to be fucking smart to build something like this, and that's what it feels like. Is like you built this fight. You know what I mean?
They've got one heck of a editing team, like author, storyboard, editing, like their group, whatever that is they had, that dynamic, they are all solid.
Yeah. I mean,
that.
it's a tightrope because the second you make a logical fallacy, it feels weird.
Yeah.
So it's to keep it going for 170 chapters and not have us be like, that's a pretty big accomplishment, I think.
Let me ask you guys a question. If it were Itadori in this fight, would it be as high stakes as it is?
What do you?
If
Because if
it was Itadori instead of Megumi versus Reggie,
would the stakes be higher?
Because would the stakes be lower? Because I just now realized that there's a very, very clear difference between a Megumi fight and an Itadori fight. Almost every Megumi fight is a game of wits and a game of like dire circumstance. But when it comes to Itadori, his body is just so naturally enduring and highly athletic that he could go on all day. If that moment where Reggie like refreshes himself, that doesn't happen. Like, that moment doesn't have as much impact if it's Itadori fighting him. Because Itadori would just be like,
well,
okay,
I'm a tank anyway.
I'll just...
You see, this damage is just visual.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
This is aesthetic damage.
Aesthetic damage.
There's no switch in Itadori's head that happens like Megumi. And that's why I'm like, that's why this series needs a Megumi. Like as a secondary protagonist.
Sure.
To like,
I like that.
Show
it is like a
that,
dynamic.
Like that's what makes this series so fucking good, and this chapter specifically so good, is because we just went from Itadori's fight where like he's literally just fucking getting literally hammered over the fucking head, and this guy's like, this motherfucker's just shaking it off. What
right, like I see all the blood coming out of him. He's not really shaking that off, but I guess he's okay.
But in Megumi's fight, he's taking this damage. He's
all of it counts.
He's been scrapping, and it's taking its toll. And he has to resort to these like big plays and like outsmarting moves. Like it almost adds to his whole animal like Shikigami summoning thing, where it's like an animal being hunted, or like a hunter, or somebody who's like
really
trapping.
interesting.
Like, this just adds more to Megumi, and it makes me really like him more. Like, I want to see him fight more.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. So much more respect has been put on his name by me.
I think the big
in the most recent chapters.
And that's because he's a character that's allowed to struggle. You know what I mean?
I think the difference between the two is that, like, Megumi is much more aware about the system, so to speak, than Itadori is. He's got way more experience as a sorcerer. He knows what to look for. He is playing a battle of wits because, in theory, that's what these battles are in this series. Itadori is a very special case in which he could just bulldoze through these rules for the most part. But yeah, Megumi has just been a sorcerer longer, and he knows that the real fight is how well can you understand the opponent's technique and how can you use it against them in one way or another. Whereas Itadori is just,
how can I find a way to break through?
Yeah, how do I just?
But
like,
there's
break
still
through?
a lot of it. I feel like the I don't know what's the word. The smart fighting, smart combat is still there. It just takes a different form, in my opinion. Like,
well, don't get me wrong. Itadori during his fight with Higuruma, he was thinking it through.
Right.
He was like, okay, so what's his domain? What's the rules? Can I attack him? It's trial and error. You're in someone's domain. What can you accomplish?
Yeah.
And
how about
once you learn the rules, now you just have to play by them the best you can and just try to make it out. it's lucky that Itadori is somewhat of a bad matchup for Higuruma because he could just tank a lot of the Judgment's attacks.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if Megumi would have been able to do the same if he was stuck in a situation where he couldn't summon his Shikigami.
I feel like he would be quicker on the uptake though than Itadori.
He probably wouldn't have just walked in there all willy nilly and get caught up in someone's
But I
curse
feel like
technique
he
to
would.
begin with.
I feel like he
But,
would
yeah.
figure it out way faster. But that's the thing is that that's the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Like one is like cold and calculating, and the other is like he's more he like, not to say that Itadori's an idiot. Of course, he still has some combat smarts and shit, right? But he appeals more to the emotional side of his skills than Megumi's like more thought provoking or like more survival oriented he is, because Megumi can't tank shit like Itadori, so he has to survive. That's his main goal.
For sure. I actually lost my train of thought of what I was going to say, but Jujutsu Kaisen's the best.
Oh yeah, such a
I'll save more thoughts
series.
for another chapter.
But I guess we should move onward. Jujutsu Kaisen's great. If you're not reading it, you're missing out. Get on
Yeah,
it.
guys, get on it. It's not that long either.
Yeah.
It's not that far along yet.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
The runner-up chapter.
Let's move onward. Black
Clover.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I'm not announcing it anymore.
Yo, that was kind of trippy actually.
Sorry.
Black Clover.
Thank you, Brian.
He said, "I got an attitude.
I'm sorry.
I'm mad." Oh no, I'm
me?
not.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the name of this chapter. Oh my God, this is Black Clover chapter 318. In the presence of a devil king. Last we left off, Lucifero pulls up. He enters the battle. I wish we had like a Smash Brothers sound effect where
Joins the battle.
yeah. And he just pulls up right next to Asta. We have Lieb down there just like looking upon his king. Just
Yeah.
like,
Oh shit.
yeah, he's like, Lucifero, do you remember me? And Lucifer, he
He
yells.
looks at him. At least he acknowledges that someone spoke to him.
Yeah.
That's more than I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah, he
But-
he says, "You're the one who killed Lucida," and this man looks down mad. He's like so not like angry, like how dare you. He's just like has a fucking attitude.
Like, you know when you try to talk to a girl and she's not trying to hear it? Like, she dubs your shit like, yeah, like, no, I'm good. You know, like, yeah, it was kind of like that. Like yo, why are you talking to me right now? Why the fuck would I even, get down.
Yeah, yeah.
Unforgivable. Scum that doesn't even have a single shred of magic
Yeah, he gravities them
beneath
down.
me.
Yeah, it's not good. Asta's down on the ground, and Lieb tells Asta that he wants to take this guy down no matter what it takes. And Asta's like, bet. He does his devil union. I guess Noct is hiding in his dumb armor thing. I have no respect for Noct. But Asta brings down his sword. I guess Lucifero disappears, and Asta follows him. He turns into this cloud thing. I'm not really sure.
Wait. What'd you say about Noct? Where you see him at?
Noct here.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. What is he doing? He's in his armor mode because he's scared.
Yeah, basically.
That's what's happening. All right, whatever.
Yeah. So I guess Lucifero, it's not really clear, I guess. He turns into this cloud thing and he runs away. Asta chases him.
Oh, yeah, it's not clear what happens. Maybe he was about to teleport away. I think the point is Asta pulled up to that nigga for the slash and he just stopped the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
This other demon guy I don't think we've met is just narrating this.
He was in the chapter before. Remember, he just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and was
no, I know
what
him.
What are you guys celebrating for?
Yeah, no, I remember him. I just
Yeah.
don't know who he is.
We don't have any context to who this person is, but
Yeah.
you know, they're very pretentious.
Yeah.
No, they're not
Yeah, he's like, meh.
It could be worse.
You're wasting your time.
Yeah, it's kind
This is our king. He's very strong and you are but an ant.
But an ant.
So Asta comes down, tries to chop Lucifero with his sword. Lucifero just catches that shit.
Oh, check this out. So I guess at first I thought that he did it on purpose. That he was like nid the mark to himself on purpose, but I guess it was just something that happened.
I think he did. Look, okay, so he catches the blade.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then-
he did.
And then Lucifero takes his other hand, scrapes it against the sword, starts bleeding,
The sharp part.
and has the nerve to get angry at Asta for this tiny cut that he did to himself.
How dare you, you garbage! Nigga called him garbage.
Suck my dick.
Perfectly placed drop, Brian.
Man. And then he doesn't do no cool devil power thing. He straight punches that nigga in his face.
Yeah, he first of all, he looks at him. What was the term you used earlier? When we
he was
hella chagrined.
hella chagrined. Cause he's not angry. He's not like, it's like a mix between disappointment and like
Disgust, just
disgust.
pure like, ugh,
Yeah, like,
you're wasting my time.
yeah,
I'm a king.
exactly.
I had to cut myself on your own blade.
It's like he was interested. Like, what is this thing even trying to swing at me? Oh,
Ow. How dare you do
what?
this to me?
Yeah.
Gaslighting at every turn. And then he rocks the shit out of Asta.
Well,
said-
rocks his world, yo.
This is the hardest I've seen Asta get hit in a
Go
long
back.
time. Yeah, go back. Shout out to Inevitably Dope too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, sends him flying to a whole different scene altogether. Which lady, I forget her name, is trying to heal Rouge, her cat.
She's like, Rouge, please save us and
Man, this was a sad
use
sight.
your plot hole bullshit armor.
Yeah, this was a sad sight because it looks like this cat's skull is caved in. I didn't love that.
Oh no, that's just the.
I know it's the threads.
the thread.
but the way it's drawn, it's
yeah,
like,
kind of.
damn, dude.
Yeah. He's alright though.
He's fine.
Can't really be damaged. She just gets used up and then revives.
Yes, she's sensing like Yami's energy getting weaker, and that's when Asta crash lands a few feet away from them. So yeah, everybody is just being pressed down by Lucifero's gravity on its own, and Asta's struggling to get up, even in his union form.
Yeah.
But then he hears a voice from the distance say, "One little boy is working real hard over there."
Yeah, he is.
And we get a 2-page spread of a bunch of the captains of the Clover Kingdom pulling up. There's Leona. There's, I think this is still Nozel, Fuego Leon, Rill.
Mm-hmm.
I forget this girl's name.
Sleepy lady.
Sleepy Lady. Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
And Charlotte. And they all pull up and they're like, time for us to lose to Lucifero.
Yeah, oh, it's so sad, but it's still cool. This is one of the coolest 2-page spreads. I mean, they all look awesome. They all look awesome.
I agree.
Every
This is
single
a
one of them.
dope 2-page spread.
Even Asta.
They're going to lose.
Yes.
They're probably going to do something cool to Lucifero, and Lucifero's like, ouch.
Ooh.
Never your gravity smash.
Stop with the silliness.
Yeah.
With the extracurriculars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stop delaying the end of this series and defeat me already.
I wonder if he's gonna have some personal beef with Jack since he kind
That'd be
of fought
funny.
his.
You're right.
He's like, "Oh, you was the Cuddy guy. I thought you was doing something."
You're actually right. Jack technically fought Lucifero when he was possessed Dante. Man.
Imagine that's the whole reason he manifested halfway.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
He said,
was
I gotta find
him.
you,
nigga. He was like, number one.
Ooh, I got something special for you, Jack.
You'll compress him into a marble.
Very sharp marble.
Swords and all, just it's gonna be perfectly round with no edges, but still sharp.
Just the mana is gonna
drop
cut
it
you.
on shit. It's gonna just pass through things.
Yeah, for real. Oh my God.
Like a coin in a coin. Just dropping him in a coin slot.
No edge, just it just falls forever. No.
It's like a glitch in Mario 64.
You fall through the void. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of the chapter. This chapter was only 15 pages.
Yeah, but see, that was fun. I'm sorry.
Falling
I'm
forever.
sorry.
It is fun, but only really because it's very shonen and it's very fun to take the piss out of a very shonen series. But I did enjoy.
Fair enough.
I did enjoy genuinely this chapter for all the tropes that are for the inevitable ass whooping these
I
captains
like the
are gonna
devil
take.
guy. I think he's got a different kind of swag.
Lucifero's the man. I love him.
I'm not gonna lie. That shit was pretty fucking cold. When he got that little baby ass fucking cut.
He got so mad.
that he did to himself.
That was so fucking cold. I haven't seen a villain do something so fucking so fucking petty, was so fucking cool at the same time in a
The
long time.
disrespect.
Because he just knocked him away. It wasn't about ending him or killing him. It was just, out of my way, out of my
Don't look at
domain
me.
and thinking, and just get out of.
I need you out of my
space.
jurisdiction.
Yeah. That's what it was.
And
He's
I
just
need you alive to
insignificant
feel
ant.
the pain of the lesson I just taught you.
Like, you know how you swat away a fly, and then if you don't see it anymore, it just isn't
It's not
real
worth
anymore. It's not a thing. It just doesn't exist.
I just
no
love
more.
how his face just like crinkles up like he fucking ate
contorts.
something sour. Like he just ate a whole ass fucking lemon.
Yeah.
That's what it looked
Yeah,
like.
remember Gucci Mane was like sour apple. What he said? Sour apple, lemon, bitches. I'm not fucking with them. Something like that.
He's the manifestation of that.
You went for real? Bro?
No, he said. Oh, he actually said sour apple ghetto bitches, which I don't want to say that because ain't nothing wrong with ghetto girls.
Nothing.
Some are real sweet. Some got attitude. They're all awesome.
Not Lucifero, though.
No.
He's got too much of an attitude. I mean, Black Clover, it's a barrel of fun.
It's a barrel of fun.
Depending on how you read it. I am just enjoying Black Clover for what it is right now. And, you know, what can we say we haven't? Because a lot of the chapters have been very similar in that way.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brian. It's a lot of fun. But I suppose we should move onward, yeah?
Hey, it's okay.
Yes.
It's
Then
okay.
let's go.
You're welcome.
I'm giving you 5 seconds to get your big boot ass on the floor.
Undead Unluck.
I almost did it again. But I stopped myself.
Get fucked.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Fuck Don.
This is Undead Unluck, Chapter 93, The Song of Spring. We're 7 chapters removed from a Chapter 100. Congratulations, I guess.
I really hope they make it to 100,
Oh, man. Come on, dude. I mean,
Please, guys, let him rock.
yeah, leave him alone. Please.
Just let him use your resources.
For real. What's it
Continue.
hurting? What's it hurting?
Yeah, is it really putting a dent?
It's a fine series.
You think they're rushing him?
Oh, yeah. They've done it before.
Multiple
for sure.
points.
It's a bummer, but
Early, middle, end, fake end, kind of end now.
Kinda
Like,
end now.
yeah, it's you know.
somewhat. I guess the very next stage is God himself.
I mean, Fang. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, Fang. The Fang fight could have been the final fight.
man,
I
I,
don't know
think
what
he
you're
saved
talking
himself there. He
yeah,
doesn't
'cause
read
you don't
Undead
read.
Unluck.
I only read top chapters. Sorry.
Which you wouldn't
No.
know.
Oh, you mean the only one? Damn, Brian.
Give me a list of every top chapter and I'll read
That's
it.
probably the only real one. So, you know. Anyway, start to the chapter. Last we left off, the combined efforts of the Union and Undergangs cut Spring open. I almost dropped that. Cut
catch.
Spring open and allowing Fuko to go inside and play this dice game with the Spring head proper, the in-training level Spring. And meanwhile, on the outside, Andy is just like, who wants to drink? And he uses his technique, his like sword technique, to cut like a bunch of like a tree down, and so that Unbreakable can make sake cups out of it.
Yo, that was real extra.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. I guess he turned all the silverware and dishes and stuff into cherry blossoms. I don't know, man.
he did
Whatever.
some shit.
It was real extra, very
Yeah.
cultural, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, so you know
Not
they make
hated.
sake cups. Rip is just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? They're about to turn us into cherry trees, and he's like, it's okay, we can drink.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, yeah, exactly. So you want to turn into a cherry tree and not be lit?
Yeah,
The fuck?
That's the
the
best way.
alternative. That's the alternative.
you want to be you don't want to be a lit cherry tree, bro? You're wasting your time, my time, everyone's time.
Ain't no way I ain't smoking a blunt before I get turned into a fucking cherry blossom tree forever.
Forever?
What if you
Forever?
Yeah,
Forever?
because that might be it might be the situation where I could stay high as a cherry blossom tree forever, and that's better than just being a standard cherry
That's
blossom
funny.
tree, as I'd imagine.
That's an interesting thought. Will you stay drunk or high as a cherry tree if you drink or smoke yourself
Prior.
to inebriation prior to turning into a tree?
I'm pretty sure I'd have to ask Yoshifumi Tozuka. I think he knows.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Fugo is just pulling Spring out. I didn't even know that's where this was going. I thought they were gonna play inside of this giant spring thing. But yeah, she yanks in training Spring out and throws herself into Andy's arms. And Spring's like, "What's going on here?" And he's like, all of the members of Union and Under lift their sake cups and take a drink to celebrate the spring viewing that's about to happen. So whether they win or lose, they're preparing for the cherry blossoms to come.
Win or lose, we're gonna be lit.
Yeah,
We're gonna be drunk.
drunk. We're gonna drink through your entire last game. And you know what, Spring? You're gonna drink too. So they stuff sake down Spring's tiny head. I don't even know where it goes.
Yeah, beyond peer pressure. I mean, that's
just bad friends.
that's yeah.
No, please. I've been
I don't even
sober
got a
for
punchline
400
for that
years.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah.
So yeah, Spring is actually pretty lit. He's very happy. He's like, "Whoa, I'm fucked up, bro." Everyone's getting fucked up, and the game begins. So they're about to like roll the dice, and they talk about how Andy is half a tree by now, and is talking about he's talking about how simply living out your days isn't necessarily the best.
He looks like Groot. Oh my god. And he's so cash about it too.
Yeah, he's like living towards a good and eventual end is what life is all about. Spring wanted people to love him so much, and now with your unluck, your love, you could help him die.
That actually hit me pretty deep, man. Living toward a good and eventual end is what life's all about. It's so sobering.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get super existential, guys, but man, sometimes I think about death. Not like suicide or nothing like that, but just like, damn, what is death?
Well, Spring's about to find out.
Yeah, he's about to find out, man. And it's, I guess we may not know what it is or what happens at that point, but we can try our best to make the best of it until then.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Spring wants this. Spring is like, yes, please.
Oh, he's been begging for death since the beginning.
Please kill me. God.
Can I just die already?
Please.
Come on, Fuko.
Yeah. They already know. It's pretty automatic that Spring's going to die at this point because Fuko has reached the point of love for Spring that the unluck that she gives to Spring will be pretty fatal. So
I mean, it overpowers the luck that he has. Because remember, that is, that's kind of like the dynamic going here.
Yeah.
It's like why she had to get to a certain point first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they call their dice, and at the end of the day, Fuko wins, and Spring is like, Ishin, today seems to be that day. So it's even. And he starts to fade away, sad style, where he's like, "Thank you for the good unluck, Lady Fuko." And as he's fading away, that's when Ishin pulls up, and they actually have a conversation that they didn't get to have before, where Spring is like, "I am sorry, but I must say that I am the one who killed your great ancestor. I am sure you detest everything to do with Spring." And Ishin says on the contrary, is like, "No, I love Spring. The unbreakable teachings that were acquired in Spring have been passed over the course of 150 years. So, because of you, I am who I am, and my family became who they were and accomplished the things they did."
Right.
So, Ishin is the name we carry as blacksmiths, but as for the names we carry as people from birth, we add a certain character to them. And he says that my other name is Haruka Yamaoka. Haruka, the Song of Spring. So I think the character that they always add is this character for Spring.
Just Spring, yeah.
Yeah. In their name. So, and this like warms Spring's dying little heart. as he's fading away, he's like, so I see I shall end things with one last recital. And we get a 2-page spread of Spring finally fading away with a poem. And it's very sad. Warmth and kindness have ushered in a change in this set of rules that I shall cherish with pride. For I am the spring itself. Very sad. And that's where the
ushered in a change. That is, yeah. Is spring the season of change? I don't know. Whatever. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I
In
think
Japanese
it's
culture,
seen
yeah.
as like a coming of age season.
You know what happened? You know why I almost denied that for a second? Literally because of Avatar. Check this out. So when you remember the one of my favorite scenes is when Iroh is breaking down the elements to Zuko.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
It's
scenes
so
of all time.
awesome. And I wish they did a little bit more of that. But he when he talks about water, he says initially that water is the element of change, which made total sense because of the different states of matter it could be in, and plus how it reflected the culture. Right. But water, the element of water, its season is supposed to be winter. So I guess I was just like, oh, well, that wouldn't make sense, right? Change and spring. But no, it's though. First of all, it's two different. One's Avatar, which is based a lot on, I think, mostly like Chinese folklore, more so than strict, Japanese, although they take inspiration from many different like Asian cultures and, even African. Did I finish my thought?
No, you were
What the fuck was I saying?
you were talking about
I'm tired, guys. I've been up
spring,
since 4 in the
spring
morning.
being the change thing.
No, that's it. I guess that was it. Like I was like, yeah, it is. Spring is the season for change, even though water is the element of change as well.
Yeah.
Winter is not the season of change. It's the season of brick. Of layer the fuck up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo ass gonna be shivering.
Yeah. That was Undead Unluck. I like this chapter a lot. This arc, I feel like this arc was definitely supposed to be a little bit more to it. You could definitely feel like after Top's fight and Top and Chikara fight, they basically fast forwarded to this final confrontation with Spring, because what we're supposed to get were like individual battles with the members of Under, and we only got one. So I feel like, and I've noticed that Undead Unluck has been ranking particularly low as of late. So I'm wondering if that had an effect on the writer of this series. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name. Tozuka's like pacing for this story. Yeah. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know what? At the same time, he still like made it work. He delivered a really touching story. There is a beauty to Spring, and a very much of a depth that we had here than we did with the other seasons that they faced up to this point. So I very much appreciate the time and what it really means for Fuko.
Yeah,
in general. But because her whole arc is about like her negation is the strongest. Like the more you love someone, so the more she loves somebody, the stronger strokes of unluck that she delivers upon them. So it's all her coming to terms with that. And being able to use that for a positive gain and not being afraid of it, as she was at the start of the series where she was about to kill herself.
Yeah, because of the despair over her quirk, of
her what now?
Negation.
Of her what now?
Shut up, Brian. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say.
I try to think really hard about if that was a metaphor for something, or if it was like maybe there's like between the love and unluck, like maybe there was something trying to be said there. And I feel like whatever it is, it's not as complicated as complex as maybe I might make it try to seem. I think it's something simple along the lines of like, bad shit happens to the people you care about, but you shouldn't let that from stopping you to care about people.
Well, when you think about it, like the outside. On the surface, every like really backfire in terms of the negations has been a direct result of God interfering. Like you see it with Top.
That sounds so funny.
It is. Yeah, God is the main. God himself is the main antagonist of this series, guys. So
He's the main.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I mean, that's what they call him. So God has an ability to come down and interfere with negations and rules. That's what he did with Spring here. So on the surface, that's what it is. And I'm wondering when they meet him and when they fight him, what the fucking... I feel like that's when the significance will be revealed, obviously. But
Right.
as it stands now, it's a direct mechanic of the conflict that it's all God's doing. Why has God why has God forsaken us? But yeah, I mean, I think that's it for me in terms of Undead Unluck. I'm wondering where it's going to go next because I can't see Undead Unluck going another long arc outside of the final one,
Right,
where they finally face God. So we may be losing Undead Unluck in the next few months. We may be losing Black Clover in the next few months.
Yeah.
This year may be a big change for our lineup on a lot of levels. We may be losing My Hero in this year.
Wow.
At some point.
We got a couple of potential up-and-comers.
I mean, always,
Yeah, I guess that's the beauty of this, right?
Duran.
Duran.
I'm never going to say the name of that series.
Doran. I've been
Duran.
keeping an eye on it. But we'll see.
If Mashal...
We'll get to it when we get to it.
If Mashal isn't just a complete gag manga still at this point, then I would...
Hey, we'll have 3 spots to fill.
We'll figure it out.
And we won't
We'll
have
figure
to
it
be picky. But that's not the
Yeah,
point
you're
of
right.
this.
We won't have to be too picky.
But that's not the point of what I wanted to say. I'm just worried that Undead Unluck doesn't have much to go. And I hope it sticks around. I hope they just fucking give him a shot. Jesus Christ. Give the man a shot. Who cares?
Right.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about Undead Unluck. Do you have any more closing thoughts?
No.
All right. Then let's wrap this bitch. Thank you guys so much for listening to our 150th. I hope it was as good as the other 149. Thank you guys for hanging out. Next week, there will be no jump. So we might be talking about some other stuff, like solo leveling has ended recently. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit next week. Among other things, if you guys have any suggestions for things for us to talk about, please let us know.
I might reread the series just for a retrospective on it.
Yeah, I gotta finish altogether. So, in any case, yeah, we'll figure it out. But you can find me at the Chris Espinal, Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at NYChillin on Twitter, Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Brian's Twitch stream at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or you can comment on whatever thing that you're watching right now on YouTube, whether it's our full episode or the little highlight breakouts we make for every series. Subscribe to us. I always get tripped up there. So please remember to subscribe.
Imagine commanding people to subscribe.
I always feel
He said
weird.
please.
Please subscribe. I please command you to subscribe. Can you politely command someone?
Yeah, leave a comment. Tell us what's your favorite series that you're reading right now. It doesn't have to be something we're covering.
Definitely.
Just drop a name.
Oh, we do have kind of an ambitious thing that we're going to want to do at the end of this year. The Jumpy Awards, where we did a year in review last year because it was kind of like impromptu, but at the end of the year, we'd like to go back and just kind of like do a best series award, best 2-page spread, best character, all that stuff, whatever. If you guys have any ideas for categories, please let us know, and a way for us to facilitate a people's choice, if we may. But more on that when we get to it. Subscribe to us there. If you like audio podcasts, we're on every audio platform ever. I don't think we mentioned that at the start, but every episode we've ever done is on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And I think that's it. Without further ado, stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out.